Most people think they know how a witch trial ended. Fire, smoke, screams. But what almost no one talks about is what happened before the flames were ever lit. Because for the accused witches of medieval Europe, burning was often not the worst part. It was simply the final act of a much longer, darker ritual designed to break the body, the mind, and the soul. Imagine being accused by a neighbor. No proof, no witnesses. Just a whisper that spread too fast to stop. From the moment that accusation was spoken aloud, life as you knew it was already over. The first thing they did was isolate you. Not because you were dangerous, but because fear spreads faster in silence. You were taken from your home, your family, your village, and placed in a cold stone cell, often beneath a church or courthouse. Ironically, the very institutions meant to protect the faithful became the places where terror quietly lived. The cell was small, dark, damp. Light came through a crack in the wall, if at all. Days passed without knowing whether it was morning or night. Sleep deprivation was not an accident, it was a method. Food was scarce, water worse. Weakness made people compliant. Confusion made them vulnerable. Then came the interrogations. At first, they were calm, almost polite. A priest, a magistrate, a man with authority and a soft voice. They didn't accuse you outright. They asked questions. Have you ever spoken to the devil? Do you know why people are afraid of you? Do you feel different from others? Every answer could be twisted. Every pause was suspicious. And if you denied everything, which most did, the tone changed. They truly believed witches could not feel pain the same way normal people did. So pain became a test. You were stripped, not for humiliation, but to search your body. They were looking for the so-called devil's mark, a mole, a scar, a birthmark, anything that didn't bleed or hurt when pierced. Needles were pushed into skin again and again. If you screamed, it meant nothing. If you didn't, it meant everything. Silence became proof. Your hair was shaved completely. Women's hair, believed to hide spells or demons, was taken away. Without it, you were exposed, cold, and stripped of identity. Then came the restraint. Hands tied behind your back, feet bound. Sometimes you were suspended slightly above the ground. Not enough to break bones, just enough to exhaust muscles over hours. This wasn't done quickly. It was done patiently. Confession was the goal. Truth was irrelevant. If you still refused, they escalated, but always under the claim of righteousness. They believed they were saving your soul. Water torture was common. Not drowning, but convincing you that drowning was coming. Cloths pressed over the face, water poured slowly, panic rising faster than breath could escape. People confessed to anything just to make it stop. And once the confession began, it never ended. You were expected to name other witches, friends, neighbors, family. Refusing meant you were protecting the devil's servants. Naming names meant survival, at least for a little longer. Every confession fed the fire of the next trial. Some were forced to reenact supposed rituals, describe meetings that never happened, invent details just to satisfy their interrogators. The more elaborate the story, the more believable it sounded. What's haunting is this. Many victims eventually believed their own confessions. After weeks of pain, fear, hunger, and isolation, reality bends. Memories blur. When authority insists something is true long enough, the mind gives in. And then, when the trial was finally held, it was little more than a performance. The confession was read aloud. The crowd murmured. The verdict was already decided. By the time the sentence was announced, The accused was often barely human anymore. Weak, broken, silent. Burning at the stake was described as justice. But it was also a warning, a message to everyone watching. This is what happens when you are different, when you are outspoken, when you are poor, when you are a woman living alone, when you make people uncomfortable. The fire did not begin at the stake. It began with fear, with superstition, with power unchecked. And perhaps the most chilling truth of all is this. Many of the people who carried out these acts believed they were doing the right thing. They prayed before torturing. They asked for forgiveness while inflicting pain. They saw themselves not as villains, but as protectors of society. Which forces us to ask a disturbing question. If we lived then, would we have stood in the crowd? Or would we have been tied to the post? Because history doesn't just tell us what they did. It quietly asks what we might do. When fear decides who deserves to burn